Good morning and namaskar to everyone. I am Dr. Teleram Meher, Assistant Professor, Department of Journalism and Mass Communication, Odisha State Open University, Sambalpur. Welcome you all to my video lecture on the topic camera shots, angle and camera movement. As you know that every film is depend on the cinematography and success of this film is depend on the cinematography and the angle and shots and the movement which we can use in making the film. Before starting this video, we can know that after understanding this video lecture, what is the objective of the learner? Means by end of this module, the learner will be able to understand the core element of cinematic languages and storytelling techniques, analyze the significance of shots and scenes as building block of the visual narratives. As you know that if we talk about the introduction, then filmmaker employ distinct visuals and oral techniques to convey concept, feelings and stories to the viewer, which is known as the language of cinema. In contrast to spoken or written languages, it is largely visual and uses sound, color, editing and shot to convey the meaning. Because of this language universality and extreme adaptability, filmmaker from many cultural background can portray intricate narratives and feelings. If you talk about the definition of shot, what is a shot? A shot is the most fundamental building block in filmmaking. If we talk in the simple language means if you want start recording in a camera from the time counter 00.00 and 00 and stop recording at 0000 and 10 second time counter, then everything that is recorded during the 10 second of time duration is one shot. And it also refers to a single continuous capture of a visual content that forms the basic unit of film narratives. Understanding the shots is essential for film to or a filmmaker or a film student as they are foundation of cinematic storytelling and are used to convey emotions, context and perspective. If we talk about what are the future of the shots means, a shot has a time duration and several shots make a scene, several scenes make a sequence and many sequences combine to form a film. And future of the shots which is content determines the shot duration. A shot is the most fundamental building block in filmmaking. It refers to a single continuous capture of visual content that forms the basic unit of film narratives. Understanding the shot is essential for film students as they are the foundation of cinematic storytelling and are also used to convey the emotions, context and perspectives. If you talk about what are the actual types of the shot based on the framing, then there are various shots are there which is based on the framing. And extreme wide shot means EWS, which is known as the establishing shot also. It is a type of camera shot used in filmmaking that shows the subject from a great distance or something that does not show the subject at all. Instead, it focuses the vastness of the environmental surrounding the subject. This type of shot is primarily used to establish the setting of a scene, giving the audience a clear sense of location, scale or mood. It is especially effective in showing the grandeur of landscapes, the isolation of a character or the scale of an event. In Indian cinema, EWS or extreme wide shot is frequently used in epic, historical and dramatical context. For example, if we talk about the example of Indian cinema, means in the Bahubali cinema, in the beginnings, the extreme wide shot are used to depict the kingdom of Mahismati. This shot highlights the scale and majesty of the fictional world, immersing the audience in its epic scope. If we talk about another film, if we take example of Lagan 2001, the cricket field is often shown in the wide frame that capture the arid rural setting, emphasizing the both physical challenges and the emotional stake of the match. Similarly, in the Swadesh, wide shot of the Indian countryside are used to contrast the protagonist model life with the beauty and simplicity of rural India. And if we talk about the film Dil Se, uses the EWS artistically in the song Satrangi Re, where vast deserts and mountains create a dream-like atmosphere, and reflect the emotional distance between the characters. Overall, extreme wide shot is in Indian cinema are used not just to get to setting but also the emotional and thematic depth, helping to draw the viewers into the world of the film. If we talk about the wide shot, means also called as a type of camera shot in which the filmmaking that shows the subject in full frame from the head to the toe while also capturing a significant portion of the surrounding environment. Unlike an extreme wide shot, which often prioritizes the landscape or setting over the subject, a wide shot keeps the subject clearly visible and central, but still places them within a broader context. This shot is commonly used to show the subject full body movement, interaction with the environment, or spatial relationship with other character. If we talk about if we take the example of Indian cinema, means the wide shot is widely used in the various genre of the both narratives and visual storytelling. For example, in the film Three Idiots, wide shot are used during the college campus scene to establish the energy of the environment and allow the space for group interaction. In the film like Dangal, wide shot are used during the wrestling matches to show the full movement of the athletes and to emphasize the physical tension. Similarly, in Bollywood dance sequence such as Kalank or Devdas, wide shot are crucially to showcase the intricate choreography and large ensemble performance. This shot helps the audience to appreciate the coordination and scale of the scene. Wide shot in Indian films are often used to balance the visual spectacles with the narrative clarity, allowing viewers to see the characters in full while observing the beauty or detail of the setting. If we talk about the medium shot, medium shot is a common type of camera shot in filmmaking that frames the subject from approximate the waist up. It strikes the balance between the showing the subject expression and some background or surrounding context. This shot is often used to dialogue scenes, allowing viewers to see both facial expression and gesture, which helps in conveying the emotions and relationship. In Indian cinema, the medium shot is frequently used in dramatic and romantic scenes. For instance, if we talk about the example, like in the film, like in the Indian cinema, Kabir Singh, or in Tamasha, medium shots are used during the emotional conversation between the characters, helping to capture the subtle expression and body languages without losing the atmosphere of the scene. It is also commonly used in the song sequence where the focus is on the lead pair interaction, such as Ye Jawani Hai Diwani, where the emotional connection between the character is visually emphasized through the medium shots. This type of shot is essential for building the character's depth while still grounding the audience in the environment. If we talk about the close-up shots, means is a type of camera shots that tightly frame a subject, typically showing the only the face or a specific details such as eye, hands, or an object. This shot is primarily used to highlight the emotions, expression, or important visual information that the filmmaker wants the audience to focus on. Because of its intimacy, the close-up is in more powerful to drawing the viewer's attention into a character's emotional state rather than other state and directing their attention to something significant. If we talk about in Indian cinema, close-up are widely used to enhance the drama, emotional intensity. For example, if we talk about the Indian cinema example, it means in the cinema Queen 2014, close-up of Rani has are used to capture her transformation, her fear, her joy, and growing the confidence. In Devdas 2002, close-up on the eyes of characters like Paro and Chandramukhi intensify the moment of lunging and outspoken love. In romantic film like Ye Dil Hai Mushkil, close-up are often used during the emotional confession or musical montages to create a deeper emotional connection with the audience. If we talk about the extreme close-up, means it is one of the highly detailed camera shot that focuses on a very small part of the subject, such as eye, lips, hands, or even a eye blinking, or when the object like a ticking a clock or a drop of water. This type of shot is used to create a intense emotional impact, tension, or to emphasize the something crucial. In the scene that might be missed in a wider frame, it is often serves to isolate a specific emotion or details, drawing the viewer's full attention to it. If we talk about the example of extreme close-up shots in the Indian cinema, For example, the thriller or suspense film like Kahani, ECU, extreme close-up shots are used on eye or subtle hand movement of the build tension and suspense. In romantic drama such as Jodha Akbar, ECU upon the character's eye or lips during the intimate moment help convey unspoken emotions and deepen the dramatic atmosphere. If you talk about the example of mythological or epic film like in the Bahubali, an issue of a character intense gauge of a symbolic item like a sword or a crown often signal is a turning point of the rising emotion. If you talk about the long shots, which is often called as in some books it is called as a wide shot. It is a type of camera framing that shows that entire subject, typically the person from head to toe, while also including a significant amount of the background. This type of shots allow the audience to see the subject in context, providing spatial awareness and helping to establish the relationship between the character and their surrounding. If you talk about the various shots or camera as per the angles, means if we talk about an eye level shot is a type of camera shots which is based on a camera angle where the camera is positioned at the subject eye level, creating a neutral perspective. It is one of the most common and natural shot used in the film or photography or video because it mimics how we see the people and the world in everyday life. Characteristics of eye level shot. If you talk about what are the characteristics of the neutral shot? Means it is having the neutral tone, relatable and versatile. If you talk about the neutral tone, it does not make the subject look powerful like a low angle shot or vulnerable like a high angle shot. Relatable makes the viewer feels equal to the subject. Often used in dialogue and interview. Versatile means suitable for almost all genre and scenario. A high angle shot, then we can move to the high angle shot. High angle shot is a type of camera angle where the camera is positioned above the subject, looking down on them. This shot is often used in the film, photography or video to convey the specific emotion or perspective. What are the characteristics of the high angle shot? Create a sense of vulnerability, makes the subject appear smaller, weaker or more powerless, can emphasize isolation of fear, often used in the suspense or drama to highlight a character emotional state, diminish authority, can make even a powerful character seem less intimidating. Then move to the low angle shot. Low angle shot means looks up at the subject, means making them appear dominant or powerful. A low angle shot is camera angle where the camera is positioned below the subject, looking up at them, and this shot is commonly used in film, photography and video to convey the power, dominance and intimidation. Then what are the characteristics of the low angle shots? Means empower the subject, makes them appear larger, stronger or more important. Can intimidate means often used for villains, authority figures or hero in a moment of strength. Adds drama or tension, means useful for creating a dynamic engaging composition. Commonly used in the superhero film to emphasize the power of a superhero. In interview or documentary to subtle the subject or suggest the authority. Then we could move to the another angle shot is over the shoulders or OTS shot. Is a camera angle commonly used in film and television where the camera is placed behind one character, showing the back of their head and shoulder while focusing on another subject or action in front of them. What are the characteristics of the over the shoulder shot? Means it creates perspective, puts the viewer in the position of the character, often used to stimulate a conversation of point of view, establish a special relationship, helps the audience understand who is talking to whom and where they are in relation to each other, often used in dialogue. A classic shot, reverse shot, set of alternate OTS view between the two characters, and it is commonly used in the conversation to show both the listener and the speaker in the scene where the character is observing something. This is the use of the shots. And if you talk about the camera shots, according to the camera movement or the movement, exactly a static shot is a type of camera shot where the camera remains completely still without any movement like panning, tilting or zooming. The composition stay fixed and the action happens within the frame, not by moving the camera. What are the characteristics of the static shot? Means stable and calm, control compositions, draw attention to movement within the frame. Often used to let the scene or performance speak itself without distraction. great for visual storytelling where framing and blocking matters. Since the camera does not move, even small actions or shift in emotion become a more noticeable. It is commonly used in the drama to focus the subtle acting of it or tension, in comedy to highlight the awkwardness or timing, in horror to create the suspense, letting something enter the frame unexpectedly. Then we could talk about the trekking shot. It is a type of movement. A trekking shot, also known as a dolly shot, is a type of camera movement where the camera physically moves through space, typically alongside behind the head of the subject. It follows the subject motion, maintaining a constant distance and perspective. What are the characteristics of the trekking shot? Means dynamic and immersive, helps pull the viewers into the action by moving with the subject. Smooth motion, often done using the tracks, dollies, steadicam or gimbals with slow motion and maintaining a framing. Keep the subject center or in incomposition while the background changes. And it is commonly used in the action scenes to follow the characters running or fighting. In dramatic movement to create a emotional depth by slowly moving closer or away from the character. If we talk about the crane shot, means is a camera shot taken from the crane or jimmy jeep or jeep, which is also called a jimmy jeep, allowing the camera to move vertically, horizontally or sweeping arcs, often starting from a high angle and moving down or vice versa. It provides the dramatic perspective, shift and sense of scale. What are the actually then the characteristics of this crane shot, which is recorded from a crane or a jeep? High mobility, can move smoothly in multiple directions, up, down, forward, backward. Reveals and transition, often used to reveal a setting, introduce a character or end scenes with gradual, create a cinematic impact, adds elegance, energy or emotional weight through fluid movement. And it is commonly used in the opening scenes to establish a location from above, in finale or emotional peaks to pull away the show isolation or trim. If we talk about the pen shot, means pen shot, the camera stay in a fixed position but swivel horizontally, and the camera moves horizontally. It imagining the standing still and turning your head from left to right. That is the panning. And the purpose to follow a character or object moving across space, to reveal more of the setting gradually, to create a suspense or surprise by revealing something previously off screen. And if we we're talking about the example in where the pen shot is used in the Indian cinema. I mean, Dil Chahta Hai, the scene at Chopra Fort, Goa. As the friend talk and reflect on life, the camera pans slowly across the landscape. This pen captures the vast expanse of the sea, enhances the theme of the freedom, introspection, and passage of the time. If we talk about the tilt shot, means the camera stay in a place but tilts vertically up or down, like looking up at a tall building or down from a balcony. Purpose of these shots is to reveal the size, scale, or power, to suggest emotional state, hope, tilt up, defeat, tilt down, to shift focuses between the element in vertical frame. If you talk about the example from the Indian cinema, in the Bahubali, the beginning scene, when Shibudu climbed the waterfall, the camera tilt up from his feet to the massive waterfall and emphasizing the monumental scale of his journey, create a sense of awe and ambition. If you talk about the example of the recent film Padmavat, which is coming in the year 2018, introduction of the Alauddin Khilji, tilt up reveals Khilji towering presence, reinforcing his intimidating and powerful character. If we talk about the types of shot based on the purpose, means we are talking about the establishing shot. And establishing shot is the purpose is to set up the context of the scene by showing the environment, time of the day, or geographical location. And if you talk about in storytelling, it orients the viewer, provide the visual expositions, and prepare the audience for the scene, mood, or tone. If you talk about the example in Indian cinema, in Swadesh film, the film opened with a wide shot of a NASA facility, establishing that protagonist lives and works in the US. Later, when Mohan returns to India, a long shot of a Charanpur village show rustic homes and open field, effectively establishing the contrast between the urban modernity and rural tradition, a central theme of the film. If you talk about the point of view shot, mean the mimics what a character is seeing, placing the audience in the character's shoes. And if you talk about the example, shots are used during the Vidya Bakshi investigation scene in the film Kahani, particularly when she walks through the crowded street of the Kolkata. These shots reflect her perspective, making the viewers feel her confusion, fear and urgency H. C. Uncover the secret hidden in the plain sight. If you talk about the importance of shots in storytelling, then we know that it is the what are the importance of shots in storytelling, emotions and drama. Shots like close-up are essential for conveying the intense emotions, allowing the audience to connect deeply with the characters. If you talk about the visual languages, the choice of combination of shot from a visual grammar of cinema, just as syntax shape, meaning in languages, shot selection guides how stories are perceived and understood visually. If we talk about the pacing and rhythm, editing and short length influence the story tempo. Quick cuts generate tensions, urgency, or excitement. If you talk about the audience engagement, means a dynamic of mix of short types maintains visual interest and sustain audience engagement. Variety in the composition and perspective prevent monotony and enhance the narrative impact. As you know that we already discussed about the various camera shots, angle and movement. If we talk about the summary, means mastering shot technique is a crucial aspect of filmmaking, particularly for film students. It goes beyond the technical skill and serves as a powerful tool for create expression. Different shot types ranging from the close-up to wide shot are integral in shaping the tone, mood and pacing of a film. When students learn to effectively utilize this shot, they develop a visual languages that communicates the narrative in a way that dialogue and sound cannot. This mastery allows filmmaker to emphasize emotional moments, guide the audience attention and create a dynamic rhythm throughout the film. Furthermore, a deep understanding of shot composition and camera movement can help students to express themes, enhance character development and establish a visual metaphors, all of which contribute to the more immersive, impactful storytelling experience. Ultimately, this technique are enable filmmakers to not only convey their idea clearly, but also engage and contact with their audience on an emotional level. Thank you for this video, and we are next move to the next video lecture. Thank you all for watching my video lecture. Thank you.